Friends from media, good afternoon. Welcome to today's regular press conference. Now the floor is open.
谢发言人，总台央视记者提问。我们注意到王毅外长。
We noted that over the past 2 days, Foreign Minister Wang Yi held phone calls with his counterparts from Kuwait, Bahrain, Pakistan and Qatar for exchange of views on the situation in Iran. But meanwhile, tensions in the region ratchet up and risks of conflict escalation and spillover grow. Could you update us on China's position and efforts to promote de-escalation? How does China view the future development? On the situation in Iran, Foreign Minister Wang Yi has recently reached out to relevant parties and once again communicated with his counterparts of regional countries through phone calls to promote peace talks and hostilities and de-escalate the situation. Foreign Minister Wang Yi pointed out that this is a war that should not have happened. It is a war that does no one any good. Without the U.S. authorization, the U.S. and Israel attacked Iran in the process of the ongoing U.S.-Iran negotiation, which clearly violates international law. Countries' sovereignty, security and territorial integrity should be respected. China does not agree with attacks against countries in the Gulf region and condemns non-discriminatory attacks against civilians or non-military targets. The pressing priority now is to stop military operations at once and prevent the conflict from spreading. The way out of the conflict is to return to dialogue and negotiation as soon as possible and strive for restoration of peace. The fundamental solution is to jointly return to the right track of abiding by international law and basic norms of international relations. Since the very first day of the conflict, China has unequivocally called for ceasefire and of hostilities, return to dialogue and negotiation, and political settlement. As we speak, Special Envoy of the Chinese government on the Middle East issue, Beijing, is in the Middle East to carry out shuttle diplomacy. As a permanent member of the UN Security Council and a sincere friend of Middle Eastern countries, China will stay committed to working for peace and defending justice and fairness. China will continue to strengthen communication with relevant parties, including parties to the conflict, and to play a constructive role for de-escalation and restoration of peace. Next one, please.
Shenzhen TV is reported that 15 UN experts of the special procedures of the HRC in a joint statement expressed grave concern at Japan's denial of the right to choose, justice and reparation of survivors of conflict women and called on Japan to make apologies and compensation. They also stressed the importance of preserving historical memory in textbooks, was China's comment. The forced recruitment of conflict women is a serious crime committed by Japanese militarism that severely trampled on the rights of the victims. The evidence of the crime is ironclad and undeniable. The UN Human Rights Mechanism made a clear statement to once again express condemnation and outrage over Japanese militarists' crime and demonstrate the international commitment to defending fairness and justice. We urge Japan to deeply reflect on its history of aggression and the disastrous suffering it has inflicted on the victims. Heed and act on the suggestions given by human rights experts of the UN. Properly handle the issue of conflict women and other issues left over from history with an honest and responsible attitude, and earn trust from its Asian neighbors and the international community with concrete actions. Next one, please.
Thank you. Question from AFP.
法新社，中远集团据称已经停止了在巴巴波，也就是巴拿马运河上一个港口的运营。这也是涉及了长江和记集团在该港口的运营，中方对此有何评论？
我不了解你提到的有。
I'm not familiar with what you mentioned. I'd refer you to competent authorities.
下一个问题。
Next one, please.
Thank you. Bloomberg News.
彭博社，五角大楼正在将部分在韩国的萨德防空系统转移到中东，中方对此有何评论？另外，中方对于美国再把武器移回韩国有什么样的评论 ？We noted relevant reports. China's opposition to the U.S. deployment of THAAD anti-missile system in the ROK remains unchanged. Next one, please.
From BGI.
英宝图，昨天印度政府宣布要放宽对于中国等印度的陆上邻国的投资规定，这也是过去5年中印之间外交关系冻结之后的一个改善信号。我知道这不是外交部的主管业务，但是考虑到中印关系正在改善，这是这一决定的背景，中方对此有何评论？
正如你所说，
Just as you mentioned, I'd still refer you to competent authorities.
下一个问题。
Next one, please.
AFP. The US.
法新社，美国表示已经击中了伊朗的埋雷船只。中方对于伊朗在相关地区埋雷有什么样的评论？
我们对当前中东
On the tense situation in the Middle East, we are deeply worried about it, and the pressing priority is the immediate stand of military operations and go back to the dialogue and negotiation and avoid the escalation of the situation.
下一个问题。
Next one, please.
BJ again. I have.
英报托，关于翟俊特使的中东之行，以及王毅外长就伊朗事件进行的斡旋工作，在海湾地区，翟俊正在该地区进行访问，是否会同以色列进行沟通来停止这一场战争？
刚才我已经
I've already introduced the relevant mediation efforts by China. You also noticed that Foreign Minister Wang Yi held a phone conversation with Israeli Foreign Minister, and our special envoy of the Chinese government on the Middle East issue, Zhai Jun, is also in the Middle East. We are going to push all parties to go back to the dialogue and negotiation to prevent the escalation of the situation.
Is Chinese.
中国政府是否与美国保持沟通，就这一问题进行外交努力？
With all parties, including the parties to the conflict, we maintain the communication and dialogue. Next one, please. Any more question? This is the end of today's regular press conference. Thank you.
I'll get it to you. I'm not going to give it to you.